Welcome back to Liftoff, the channel where space exploration, future tech, and our place in the cosmos intersect. Today's episode goes beyond rocket science. It's about one of the most ambitious launch programs in human history, and the growing tension between technological progress and environmental preservation. Because while SpaceX's Starship is preparing for a new round of launches that could send us to the Moon, Mars, and beyond, controversy is erupting back here on Earth. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has just approved up to 25 Starship launches per year, and while that sounds exciting, there's a catch. The expanded flight paths include debris drop zones dangerously close to some of the most ecologically sensitive waters on the planet, the protected Pacific regions near Hawaii. Earlier this week, the FAA quietly gave SpaceX a go-ahead for an aggressive Starship launch schedule, allowing nearly 24 flights annually from their Boca Chica facility in Texas. That's a huge leap for any space vehicle, let alone one as complex and experimental as Starship. For SpaceX, it's a dream realized. Rapid iteration, reusable boosters, and near-weekly orbital test flights. But here's where it gets complicated. Starship doesn't land everything. The upper stages and booster cores jettison massive chunks of hardware mid-flight, and those pieces don't return safely to a landing pad. Instead, they plummet into the ocean, often over vast designated debris zones. And this time, one of those zones overlaps with the marine environment surrounding the Papahanaumokuakea Marine National Monument, a UNESCO World Heritage Site northwest of the Hawaiian Islands. This isn't just any stretch of sea, it's one of the largest marine conservation areas in the world, covering over 500,000 square miles of pristine ocean habitat. It's home to endangered Hawaiian monk seals, green sea turtles, black coral reefs, and ancient deep-sea lava ecosystems. It's also sacred land to native Hawaiian communities, a spiritual and cultural stronghold that holds generations of ancestral history and meaning. And now, falling debris from one of the most ambitious tech projects on Earth could threaten it. Environmental scientists have warned that the heavy metallic fragments from Starship, especially after explosive stage separations, could damage coral structures, introduce harmful materials, and disturb the balance of a fragile ecosystem that has existed for thousands of years. The backlash was immediate. Indigenous rights advocates and environmental watchdogs are calling out the FAA's review process, arguing it was rushed, non-transparent, and heavily dependent on data from SpaceX itself. They say the agency didn't adequately consult with local stakeholders, nor did it account for long-term cumulative damage to Hawaii's marine ecosystem. To many in the native Hawaiian community, this is more than an environmental concern. It's a matter of cultural sovereignty and respect. They're not opposing spaceflight, but they're demanding that sacred waters be treated with the same reverence that we give to historic landmarks on land. One activist put it simply, "Don't launch over our ancestors." Meanwhile, SpaceX is laser-focused on progress. Starship is more than a rocket. It's the cornerstone of Elon Musk's interplanetary dream. The company plans to use Starship for everything from NASA's Artemis lunar missions to Mars colonization, orbital cargo deliveries, and even long-distance Earth-to-Earth travel. And it's evolving fast. Just this month, Musk confirmed that the next Starship test launch is scheduled in less than 3 weeks. If all goes well, 2025 could end with over a dozen full-stack flights. A stunning feat for a rocket that was still exploding on the pad just 2 years ago. With each launch, the Super Heavy booster becomes more efficient. The recovery ships become faster, and the engineering team learns what needs to be redesigned, reinforced, or replaced. But this rapid innovation comes at a physical and political cost. So here's the dilemma. How do we balance the breathtaking potential of space travel with the moral obligation to protect our home planet? Some argue that all great innovations come with growing pains, and that Earth's oceans are vast enough to absorb occasional debris drops. Others say that's a dangerous precedent. If we don't draw boundaries around what's too sacred or too vulnerable to sacrifice, we risk repeating the same exploitation patterns that have defined so much of history. The truth is, space progress and environmental responsibility are not mutually exclusive, but they require intentional design, robust oversight, and honest dialogue with those most impacted, including the indigenous stewards of the land and sea. As the countdown to the next Starship test ticks down, pressure is mounting. Environmental groups are demanding a halt until further reviews are conducted. Legal teams are exploring possible challenges to the FAA's process, and Hawaiian leaders are asking a deeper question: if humanity is looking for new worlds to settle, Why are we so quick to damage the one we already have? There may be no easy answers, but this moment, this conflict between rockets and reefs, is a signal. We're entering a new era of spaceflight, one that will no longer take place in distant deserts or isolated islands. One where every launch has ripple effects back on Earth, from the ocean floor to the halls of government. So what do you think? Should Hawaii's protected seas be off limits to rocket debris? Can SpaceX adapt its practices to preserve the places we hold dear? Or is this just an inevitable step toward a multiplanetary civilization? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your take. And if you value thoughtful reporting on space, science, and sustainability, hit the like button, subscribe to Liftoff, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a launch that matters. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in orbit.